Hello, my name is Leo, and welcome to a brand new series of Anbennar in EU4. So today we're doing something a little bit different. After doing a 3 Let's Plays of Vicky 3, I wanted to do something a bit different. Now, first of all, let's get into the single player. So there's a few things. I haven't played EU4 in a long while, all that much, so I'm a bit rusty. When I say a bit, I mean a lot rusty. So there's going to be a lot of mistakes. And it's not going to be full on min-maxing, so don't expect that, please. Also, we're missing the Origins and Lions of the North DLCs, but I reckon it's probably not going to have that much of an impact. So, as you can probably gather from the name of the Let's Play already, we'll be playing in Zurkanrek, which is part of the Lake Federations. And yeah, let's just actually hop into the game. So we're going to take this one. This is the initial leader of the Federation in there, of the Lake Federation. Our goal for this series is to at least unite the Lake Federation. And after that, I'm not entirely sure. We'll probably go ahead and at least conquer everything surrounding these lakes here and something. But let's jump back into the game, shall we? Right, do you want to deactivate the Great Conquerors? No, let them come. Right, so, as I said, it's been a long while since I played EU4, especially in, well, other than me and Texas. Like, I think the last time that I played EU4, like, that has been around when Leviathan was released, so that's, what, well over 2.5 years about now. So yeah, it's going to take a bit of a learning, or remembering to get things sorted. First of all, let's put in the trader, or the fleet rather, to help with the trading in our regions here. So if you look at the trade regions, we got 4 different regions in here for the Lake Federation. And looks like the Blue Sea is going to be the sort of central location, maybe. Let's have a look. Yeah, that leads to Blue Sea. I'm pretty sure that most of these lead to Blue Sea. So once we get over here, we can gather up all the trade in there. And then that's going to be good. So we do also have a treasure fleet home port. So every now and then the treasure fleet will depart from there and trade with other lands. So we'll get some events for that and all that. That's going to be quite fun. Let's start with the rivals. I guess we'll just go with the rivals that we have available. There's not a lot of freedom of choice here, and mostly because we are relatively strong compared to a lot of the other nations, seeing as we are the leader and all that. And we're going to have the Federation standing over here so we can see that we are the leader, and there's others that have either very high standing or normal standing and all that, and that should be fine. I suppose we could probably get, well actually I don't know if we can get alliances quite yet. We can. Although actually before we do that, what we should do is have a look at the, if we summon the Diet, is there any alliance, for example? You want to have Prestige 30 for nobility. We just want to have Spy Network in Yaramud. Alright, I mean, that would be 50 diplo power for that. What about with, so that would be 50 admin from the nobility or 10 prestige from the clergy. That would require us to increase the base tax in our capital by 2, which is not necessarily a bad idea, although it would take a little bit of points away from getting the stability up and all that. I think we're going to take the Major's suggestion. So which one was it? Yaramud? Right, so over here we'll just start making a spy network already then. Get that underway. And then I believe this one I wanted to ally at least. Possibly some others as well. Well, let's get started with one. I don't think we can do a second one quite yet. Then if we have a look at the estates further than that, let's start with the... Well, actually, first of all, let's see some land to get some more area for us. Technically speaking, we could now put in the +1 for all of these, but losing that much power or the land early on is going to be a bit rough. Of course, you do get the extra points, but we'll start with the primacy of the... We'll start with the primacy of the nobility. That's minus 10% land already. So you got a little bit penalties from there. So that's what we could do. Right of council, that's fine. We're not going to have a lot of autonomy right now, or the, what's it called, absolutism, sorry. But like that, I believe that's only going to be unlocked later on anyway. Oh, there's supremacy over the council. That would increase the loyalties of pretty much everyone, so that's not a bad one either. I think that's what we're going to go with over there. And then clergy, technically speaking... You know what? As I said earlier, or at the start there, we are going to do a lot of mistakes. I'm going to take a bit of risk here. I'm going to take the +1 for each one of these. We'll have basically no land of our own. Of course, if we do develop it, or increase the development, that's going to allow us to get a little bit extra back. So it's not the end of the world, but it's going to be a rough start in a lot of ways. But we might be able to live with that. Patronage of the arts is probably not a bad idea either. Get a bit of extra prestige. We're not going to do any of the stability cost modifiers yet until we increase the stability a little bit. But free enterprise for... Ooh, actually, that's going to increase the influence of the Merchants Guild pretty high. It'll be fine. I mean, what's the... It should be 65% now. Well, eventually it will go up to 65% loyalty. That'll probably be good enough, although... No, I don't want to increase the influence further. Right, so clergy, we can do a few more things in there. That would increase the influence, but not loyalty. I suppose oversight by the clergy is something we can do. So what's the equilibrium now? 56%. Okay, can we get that even higher? Religious diplomats. That would be 15% influence, but that would also be a little bit extra loyalty. Oh, and that's less manpower. There's a lot of new things in here that have been added. Well, since the last time I played. Right, so let's just go ahead and put in the religious diplomats. That will maybe help. And now the equilibrium is 61%. So yeah, we have basically no church, or not church lands, the crown-owned lands. We'll survive, I reckon. We should also probably get ourselves a couple more infantry in here. Then we're going to mothball the transports over here because we don't need them right now active. I doubt, at least. And then I suppose I'm going to start building a spy network over here as well. And then we could put in the extra diplomat to start doing some improved relations with allies. Which means that it's going to be a bit idle right now, but that'll be fine. And then I suppose, I don't think we need the army in full strength, do we? Although there might be some problems arising later on. I did a small test. Well, to be fair, that was mostly just the loyalties dropping. So if we can keep the loyalties high enough, it should not be a problem. Right, you want to get an alliance, that's fine. I wanted to ally you anyway. So we've now got 2 allies, we have no advisors yet. How much would it cost us to get an advisor? 0.8? Because how much do we pay for the... Okay, so it'd be like 0.24 ducats per month that we'd save with the advisor, but it's quite a bit of money to do the initial thing there. Although we're also building more troops, so that is actually going to be even higher savings there. Plus we get a little bit points back, which is going to be quite nice. So we're going to start to, well, not with an initial, or like, not with an immediate expansion necessarily, but we're going to have at least a bit of an army. We might want to get a general in here, actually. We could maybe do some drilling with the army. Let's hope that we get something good. 2120. Alright. Not great, not terrible. There we go, so we've got 10 battalions there, we can... Oh, regiments, sorry. Been playing too much Vicky 3, so everything's a battalion right now. Right, let's just do a bit of drilling there. If we can get the professionals up early enough, that'd be quite nice. We could probably get another alliance or two, actually. Also, we're losing a bit of cash, but it's not too bad here. You're fairly friendly. I suppose I could... Oh, no, I can't ally you. I could ally you. That's kind of the downside of allying a lot of neighboring nations. Or the nations that neighbor one another, is that at some point they're probably going to start fighting each other, and then you need to choose a side. So we've got a bit of enemies, well, 2 rivals over here, which we need to sort of break through, or get rid of. At some point, but first we need to get the... How much was it again for the mission? It's 50 spy network in here, in the northern one of those two. Was it this one another? No, that one's not a rival. Was it over here? No. Where was the third rival? Ah, that one. Right, so these two and that are the rivals. Fair enough. So our population over here is mostly humans, but in this mod there's all sorts of like orcs and ogres, dwarves, elves, and all that. Like, it's fantasy total conversion if you are not familiar with the mod. It's quite a great mod, although one thing that I do have like a small gripe with it is that sometimes the modifiers can get quite insane. I don't use the mod for the extra idea groups. That is something that a lot of people use with the mod. I'm just using the vanilla idea groups right now. Mostly because with some of those you can get like insane defensiveness and all that sort of stuff. Where, like, especially when you're playing as dwarves, it might end up with well over 100% base extra defensiveness on all your forts. Like, sure enough, the dwarves probably would be pretty darn good at making defenses, but it's a little bit too much in my opinion. But if that's something that you want to do, then go ahead. Right then, so our trading is doing mostly fine, although we're losing a bit of cash. We can't really lower the maintenance while we're drilling. Well, I mean, we can, but it doesn't have an effect. At least we're getting slowly some drill and some professionalism. And let's actually go to speed 4. Oh, someone's already fabricated a claim on us. Well, that's a bit unfortunate. Actually, was that a claim on us? Yes. Oh. Right, so both of my neighbors over here have fabricated claims. Now, if we have a look at the terrains, actually. So there's a lot of farmlands on our territory, plus we got the urban, so the city itself is going to be the one place where we can do defenses fairly well. And then to the north there would be some forests, and then there's some grasslands to the south. But one thing that is good with these terrains is that it's going to be really cheap developing them. I think what we're going to do is we're going to first get some... Well, you know what, actually... No, since we don't have a mission to increase the development yet, we're not going to do that. Oh, Federation elections. Zurkanrek will now lead the Federation for the next 4 years. Excellent. So we can hold on to the power. We got fairly large army and all that. If we were to get some... Oh, actually, one thing that I should probably do is curry some favors. Last time I played vanilla, currying favors was not really a thing. Now, admittedly, it was partially a thing with the Mio Taxes playthroughs that I did, but very limited uses in that mod. So the start is... Oh, advancement of the adventurer power. This of the adventurers does not rest on the privileges of the nobility or the clergy or the wealth of merchant guilds. Instead, they have had to make their own fortunes by prevailing fighting skills. As a rule, however, this has gone very well for them lately. While not as prestigious, business is in many ways the backbone of our economy, and through their control over the means of production, the adventurers have managed to increase the power of our country. Alright, so they get a little bit more influence. I suppose I didn't actually have a look at the things over here. Is there anything that we initially need to do? That would be increasing stability cost. Speaking of which, we did increase the stability already. And then there's autonomy. Right, so these are various reducing the... or remove some adventurers wanted modifiers, which means that there's some monsters or something in your lands, which I don't think we have right now anywhere. I'm pretty sure that's a no. Yeah, no. Still making slight deficit in there. How's the drilling going right now? So we've got a drill of 13 points. Nothing massive, but it'll probably help, and if we can get the professionals up a little bit further, that's also great. We got a decent enough manpower. Technically speaking, oh, defend our capital. What's this then? Military power 200. Oh, right, it's a castle, but I don't think we can afford maintaining the castle right now. Is the problem. Well, we could probably still do that. At the same time, how much? Well, that would be extra morale and all that, so getting that tech might not be a bad idea either. Maybe we'll save that for one for at least a little bit further. And there's a lot of... Are they actually... Oh, they can sail through here, I think. Actually, I'm not entirely sure. Kind of feels like they can sail through here. But that's inland sea. Gift to the state. Ooh. I'm going to take the money. We don't have a lot of cash right now. We could use a bit of extra. I don't think... so what are the things over here in the... So, feudal de jure law, -5 unrest is an edict. Oh, that reminds me, I don't have any edicts on right now. Justify wars, aggression expansion impact -10%. You need some more splendor. 800. Oh, right, yeah. Justify wars, so -10% aggression expansion impact. Transfer subject, improve war taxes. So the war taxes cost is basically 0. Cavalry army, so cavalry to infantry ratio +20%, +1 of each development when colony finished, and adaptive combat terrain. The rest of these we can't get. To be fair, our capital is in a city, like getting the extra +1 in there would be pretty good. The roll for attackers is already -1, sorry. So, you know, it's not too bad. Now, we do have one merchant that we could send, but it's... if we send it downstream there, it's not really going to help us, because we are basically upstream from most of the areas here. And then that's too far away for us. We got a pretty good amount of trade power in there already. Not that there's much in there in terms of value, but we've got that at least. Actually, I could probably put these as a non-priority or non-important decisions there. So we just need 10 more spy network. Technically speaking, we would already get a claim over here. There's the other one that we are getting the... or we got the mission to get up to 50 spy network, and then we'll get a bit of diplomatic points. Oh, bollocks. We just got discovered. Well, never mind then. It's going to take a while. You know what, I'm just going to cancel that one. Suppose I could curry favors with another one of these in the meanwhile, and then once we have enough favors we can do a war. Although not before that. Are you allied? Oh, you do have 2 allies. Oh, but you're not allied to the... Oh. Actually, since we got the spy network in there, might as well get the claim right now before it's completely lost. Can we can get a claim over there as well. So who are you allied to? The other arrival over here, a bit further away. Okay, so that does open up a possibility for sure. We've got a little bit drill here. I think we should be able to beat that one fairly easy. Then just conquer this entire nation here. Now, it might reduce our standing with the Federation, I don't know. Well, let's just drop the drilling for a little bit. And I suppose we could actually get the capital thing. 0% of the cost and 50% of the time, so we'll have the castle up and running soon enough. Oh, and what's this then? Build the house. Oh. Oh, right. So that's going to open up a new thing where we can put in money. I'm not going to start on that one yet. Not until we've cleared out a little bit of this, I reckon. I don't actually know if this is something that they can sail out of. Kind of feels like it would be. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, there's a lot of fleets going around. That's for sure, for one, but... how long until the castle is done? It's going to take another year. Okay, so in that case, we're going to do a little bit more drilling for a few more months, at least. And how is the... No, we haven't gotten these yet. Looks like the loyalties are going somewhat up. Although, the adventurer's loyalty is not going to go up high enough. But there's not much I can do about that without losing a lot of points one way or another. I mean, suppose the Courtiers of Adventure advisor cost goes down, so that could actually be a decent way to save money right now. Plus, it gives us a little bit more equilibrium. So the loyalty is going to go up to 45, so we need to put something else to increase that loyalty. Or, what we can do is once we've got the mission, I mean, first of all, we need to get this one done. But then we can get the Call the Diet, so that's going to give us 5 loyalty. And then we can buy some more, or buy back some of the land. There we go, now we're making a tiny bit of money. It's not a lot. Once we get down to, like, I don't know, 180 days left on the castle, we'll stop the drilling again. Just so that we'll have our army in somewhat good drill. Of course, it's only going to matter in, like, the first 1 or 2 battles. After that, it's basically not going to be much in there. Well, it depends, of course, on the battles a little bit, but we should be able to clear out at least this army. We've got overwhelming manpower compared to them. We've got decent general. Not the best, but it's decent enough. And we'll keep the spy network in there for now. Now, if I wanted to bring in some allies, I don't actually know if we need to. Oh, let's drop the drill. Probably don't need to bring in any allies to this war. I mean, it depends who's going to join in there? So it would be... I mean, you would join, so it's a total of 13,000 versus my 10,000. Technically speaking, I could have more. I could potentially... Actually, so if they got a total of 13,000... So they got 8,000 down here. Maybe if I bring both of these, I could maybe give something to one of them. Although, maybe we should just wait for the favors to be done so we can call these two into the war, for example. Or maybe even that one, I don't know. We'll wait for the castle to be done first, and we'll wait for the army to be full on morale before we start moving anywhere. How close are we getting any techs? We're still about halfway on the diplomacy. I suppose if we could get the spy network done again, I think we can start building the spy network. I mean, we don't have a free diplomat right now. Let's wait for the curry favors to be done. Or to get to 10... Okay, so we need another, what, 3 months? Or something like that before we get those favors to be high enough to call them into a war, I believe. At least we got a few claims in here. We can start expanding a little bit. And yeah, I think uniting... Actually, is there a... Is it a mission or is it a decision? It's probably a mission, actually. To unite the Federation. Is there any other things in here? So there's the diplomatic corps. That's going to open up some other things. Simply has the mainland question. And you should have expansionist ideas. Alright, well, I mean, that could be quite useful. There is a lot of missions in here, actually. A united federation. Events Zurkanrek proposes unification happens. Once this mission is taken, the Federation leader will be able to consolidate the power and start centralizing the Federation around their ideas. Regular members will be able to rapidly advance their position in the Federation, contesting the leader's position. So we got the castle now built, so we're losing a little bit of money. Not entirely surprising. We got the favors now, I believe, so we can cancel possibly both of these. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start building the spy network over here again, and then what we're going to do is we're going to start the war. So if we are declaring, we should be able to call at least one of them in there, but the problem is that it's not necessarily going to be enough troops. I mean, it would be enough to keep them busy at least here, but I don't know if it's going to be... Actually, one thing that I'm going to do first, before we do that, is unmothball the fleet, and then let's see if we can actually move this in there. Oh, we can move, but it needs to go all the way around there. Oh, so that's what happens there. Right, well, in that case, we won't be going there. Price growing more accepted. Well, that's not good. Corruption increases by 0.5. Ah, we discover a spy network of the enemies here. So hopefully during this war we can get more spy network in here. We can get the mission done. And then by that point we will hopefully be able to get another mission from the things. And also start increasing crown runs a little bit. Because right now we're in a little bit dire situation there. I mean, how much is the negative? It's minus 15% taxes. A lot of extra autonomy changes and all that. Although it's... Yeah, it is growing. It's not growing massively. It is growing regardless. But I think our troops, I'm just going to move them in here. And then it's time to declare the war. I do wonder though, they do have potential for some landed troops in here. All troops landing in here. First of all, we're going to put the war goal on that one. I think I can take them all without any extras. Let's slow down a little bit. To speed 3, and our first battle seems to be going quite nicely. Oh, it's a stack wipe. Alright, well, let's detach a siege, go to the capital. We'll have this side of the front one fairly soon. I mean, we do need a bit more troops to actually siege this one down. But, you know, we can keep it so that they won't be able to land troops. Or build troops in there, rather. They can land troops, I suppose, until we've taken the port, but that's underway. And there we go. One area siege down. Get the second area siege down. I mean, it's going to cost us a little bit manpower and all that. Plus, they're locating some stuff here. I don't know if they'll be landing anything, to be fair. Probably not. But once we take the capital and all that, they should be pretty much... Oh, election. I think I'm going to keep our current leader, actually. 214 isn't massive. It's okay. We lose a bit of tradition, but we've got full Republican tradition right now anyway. So we're going to afford doing that. Oh, and Traveling Minister. I'll take the extra stability. That's always nice. It should increase our income as well a little bit. Not necessarily massively, but at least enough to make a difference. Well, a small difference. Right, so with the extra spy network, their defense is somewhat reduced. So we should be able to win this. Unfortunately, we cannot, realistically speaking, blockade their port there. So that's a bit of a problem. Is this actually part of the... Right, so this is part of our trade network, or the trade region. Oh yeah, it goes all the way around this lake here. And then there's the Blue Sea area. And there's that lake, and this lake. Alright. Yeah, well, we're at least getting some progress on the siege. I suppose we can go on speed 4 again to get things rolling. Oh, right, the siege only goes to 12 points total. That's kind of the fun thing of me and taxes, although it's got a lot of things that will slow the game down and all that sort of stuff. But like the fact that the sieges can go all the way up to 100, so eventually they'll still win. You won't be stuck on a, say, a 47% siege for several years. There is still actually, there's not that much defenders in there. Oh, they have probably had the Fort Mothball or something. And that could actually be it. Alright, I mean, slowly but surely, I'm gonna get through this siege. It's taking its fair time there, but the question is, of course, are we gonna run out of money before that? We're losing quite a bit of money, admittedly. To be fair, if we put in the war taxes on, that's gonna cost us a little bit of points. Might not be the end of the world, or we can take a few loans. It's not going to be the end of the world either. We're already at minus 21%. Oh, are they fighting a war of their own? No. Where did the armies go then? Oh, there we go. So we can get another 4 points in here without getting breaches on it like that. So that's going to be potentially start at 21% success chance on the siege. Right. Well, that's... Oh, Federation elections. Ah, we're still leading the Federation. Good. Treasure fleet departs. The journey begins. We'll try to sneak past the pirates. Like there's, you can pay off the pirates, but that means that you make less money. Although that would allow safe passage. Sneak past the pirates. There's probably a chance that you'll get spotted and then rob or try to fight them. And there's a chance that you'll get... I don't know. We'll try to sneak past them. Got a decent bit of diplo points, so we don't need them drastically right now. It's already minus 10%. Oh. Oh, our spy network got caught in there. Alright. And we've taken our first loan, so it begins. We'll probably be able to afford taking a few loans at least. Right, so now defenders deserting. I mean, eventually it should go down low enough so that it'll be costing them another point there. They've got 650 defenders right now. Oh, and our spy... Oh, wow, they really are catching all our spies right now. That's not great. And we're technically out of time for this episode, but what we're going to do is we're going to wait for this siege to be done before we end. Or maybe we can do the peace deal, if they accept it. Question is, how many times do we need to roll this 21% chance before we win? I mean, it's already been going for almost 2 years. Oh, there we go. So now if we were to take a truce there, so they will not accept it currently. I'm going to take as much money as we can as well. I mean, they won't accept it yet, but I believe it's like a few years and they'll accept it. At this stage, what I could do is I could probably reduce the maintenance a little bit. If they try to do a landing, then it's not an easy job for them, especially if we move over there. So the only landing they can do is on the fort, which means that... Oh, promising trader. Ooh. Skill level 2 trader. That's not bad. So we're still losing a bit of cash, but we don't necessarily need to worry too much. Actually, we could probably mothball this for the time being to save us a bit more cash as well. There we go. So now we're actually making money. Not much, mind you, but a little bit. And now we just need to wait for them to actually surrender. Well, the war exhaustion is growing rather rapidly, so eventually they will give up. We need another 15 points, so that might take a few bits there. I mean, we do have the war goal already, so eventually they'll surrender regardless. But I suppose what we're going to have to do is wait for that in the next episode. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.